feel lonely. Oh no, the time can move so slowly. And in the distance I hear voices. Are they real or are they in my head? I'm lovesick. You got me lovesick. And I'm lovesick. You got me lovesick. And now I feel alive. Feel alive. Feel alive. Feel alive. And now I feel alive. So many times they try to change me, and every time it drives me crazy. And all the good times we had saved me. Are they real or are they in my head? I'm lovesick. You got me lovesick. And I'm lovesick. You got me lovesick. And now I feel alive. Feel alive. Feel alive. Feel alive. And now I feel alive.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, as a new season of International IndyCar League action gets underway this afternoon for its 31st iteration. And what better place to kick things off than the infamous Pocono Speedway, where today we will run 76 laps or 190 miles to decide who kicks off season 31 in ideal fashion. Alongside me today, as always, you'll find Sébastien Kinder. And one thing I want to ask you, Seb, as we get this new season kicked off here is, given the unique nature of this Pocono Speedway, will we see a lot of teamwork coming together, given the draft is usually so powerful in these Indy cars?
Yes, it is. It's a track built for diversity, speed and danger. A true driver's track and also a true teamwork track because, Jack, with those big straights and those shortened fuel cells that we usually have in the International IndyCar League, it's a very tough track. So will be very interesting to see, especially, Jack, we have over 20 cars today.
Yeah, it's a fantastic showing of performance and talent as we get this new season underway. As you say, north of 20 entries for today's race will make things insanely interesting, and one you will not want to flick off for sure. We were stolen of a grandstand finish last week for the season 30 finale at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, so hopefully today we will be able to live up to what we couldn't achieve last time out for the season finale. But qualifying is almost done here at the moment as you now look at David Strid, number 48, He was at the front running of the field last season and is currently sat on the pole as he brings his car down to pit road. That's going to be qualifying done for him, setting the pace with a 40.319. F-Tink will then line up provisionally second with a 40.331, and it looks like, Seb, most of the drivers are bringing their qualifying runs to the close as we see a lot of cars now down pit road once again.
Yeah, the clock is hitting 0, so it will be very interesting to see what we're going to have today at Pocono Raceway. I'm looking forward to this, and in a few moments here, Jack, we'll have the starting grid for today's race.
But before we get into that, I just want to take you through quickly what you're going to be looking forward to in season 31 of the International IndyCar League. So just as a little bit of housekeeping, that red arrow means that these races will be live streamed, such as Pocono today. Next week is Nashville, which will not be live, but then the next two, rounds 3 and 4, at the Worldwide Technology Raceway and Michigan, those will be live right here on the Velocity Online Racing channel. We then go to Twin Ring Motegi Road Course, then EchoPark Speedway Atlanta. Then once again, we are live for Daytona International Speedway on August the 2nd. That will be one that you don't want to miss for sure. Las Vegas comes next for the second half of the season to get things kicked off, followed by Iowa Auto Club, Indianapolis Road Course, Kentucky, and then the famous Brickyard rounds out season 31 once again, which will be live right here. But I believe, Seb, we are getting ready to start the formation lap, so take it away for the grid.
The starting grid for today's race at the Pocono Raceway with David Strid on pole position alongside Velocity Online Racing's Rodin Eftink. In the rear view mirrors, they'll have Guillermo Miguel alongside Matthias Strauss from Team Watson Racing. Third row is composed of Dan Enge and Rick Lovison. In the fourth row, we'll have Katie Pollack for Brabham Motorsports and Jason Lowe, the 004. Row 5, we'll have Bryce Saucier and Mike West. And the rear mirrors in row 6 will have Callum Ford and John Christensen. The 7th row is composed of Mike Jensen and Noah Gale. On the 8th row, we'll have Brian Fearless for Team Watson Racing and Ryan Bowles. The 9th row will have Brad Stanley and Pim Gastel. And in the 10th row, we'll have Anthony Heisma and Manuel Esteban. And alone on the 11th row will be Pascal Fearless, which is actually Brian's dad here, Jack.
Yeah, that would be an interesting dynamic to see throughout this race. We're going to have a father and son on the grid today for, I think, the first time, well, at least throughout my commentary career, the first time that I'm going to see a father and son take on the same race at the same time. Hopefully, well, I mean, it's Father's Day here in the UK, but hopefully there's not too much father and son feuds going over dinner tonight.
I'll hope so.
But looking forward to the broadcast schedule you can see there on the right-hand side. It's going to be a mix of not only International IndyCar Series, but we've got VOR Indy next, the ICOS Euro SOF race coming your way on the 23rd of June. Then we have another SOF race on the 30th for Mid-Ohio. And then once again, you can see their gateway for the International IndyCar League and some more Euro SOF races, which will all be live here on the Velocity Online Racing channel. But as the drivers get their eye in on what is a relatively tame pace lap for what we're going to be doing for the next 190 miles, it's going to be David Strid who is going to lead us to the green flag. You can see there the field making their way to the green flag, courtesy of the beautiful cameras that we have here on the Velocity Online Racing channel, courtesy of TrackCams 22. These guys can provide you with any sort of circuit you need, whether that's for road, oval, dirt road, dirt oval, you name it. They can sort you out with some fantastic broadcast camera angles. As you can now see, Rodan Efting getting a little bit closer there to David Strid as he now pins the throttle, and we are going to go green flag racing for season 31 of the International IndyCar League. It's going to be David Strid that gets a fantastic start, and Matthias Strauss drops 4-5 places there, Seb.
Terrible start here, Jack. And, the starting group was weird because a lot of people were kind of like misplaced and kind of like not really performing well, but well, so far so good run up for these drivers right now, no crashes.
Yeah, it always seems to be a way of Pocono with the amount of real estate the drivers have to work with. You tend to see everyone not necessarily in two perfect tram lines, but sort of spreading out and fanning out and making them, taking the bit of racetrack that they think is going to give them the best launch into turn number one. But as you said, everything seems to be okay. You can see a couple of drivers getting very close to the outside wall there off of turn number 4 as we start already lap number 2. And it's David Strid who's going to cross the line and lead the lap for the first point of the season. That's going to go his way. He's going to get a point for leading a lap, but it's going to be Strid from Eftink, from Miguel, from Ench, Loverson, Lowe, Polak, Strauss, Christensen and Saucier, the top 10 at the moment. We've got a few movers, and unfortunately Matthias Strauss down 4 places already as we ride on board with the 86.
Yeah, Ford got really tight here in turn 2. That will be a critical corner here, Jack. 3 corners, all based on different tracks. So we see Strid and Eftink swapping the lead here. 3 corners based on different tracks. Turn 1 is based on Trenton Speedway. Turn 2 is based on the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and turn 3 is based on the Milwaukee Mile.
That's it's a unique combination of corners, I think, here, and it's one that you definitely see catch a few drivers out. There's been some hefty impacts here, not only in the sim racing world, but also in the real world. I remember a couple of horrendous accidents before they actually had the catch fence in here. I believe it was turn 2 where you saw I can't remember who it was now, but there was someone that turned into someone will remember a fidget spinner along the back straight. That was a horrendous accident, but riding on board now gets very close, squeezed there by who was that in the Monster Energy machine? It was Jensen in the 55. Very, very aggressive squeezing going on with only 4 laps in the book so far.
Whoa! Oh, I ain't got time.
Whoa!
Oh, barrels! Oh, you get pounded the track. Watch out! Wow, that was scary.
You can see that was coming a couple corners early. You'll see it. We'll get a replay here. That was an incredible amount of wash for so early in the race. You can see there just washes up completely. Jensen tried to get out of it, and unfortunately the M&M's machine, Gil in the 980, is what I would like to call a victim.
I mean,
riding on board
he was also like washing up the track, Gil was, so there was nothing he could do there. And Jensen maybe overdoing it, which is kind of a shame because we were just like lap 4.
Yeah, it's a little bit too much too early there from Jensen in the 55. Unfortunately, that takes both of them out of the running very, very early on, only 4 laps in, as you say. But caution comes out on lap number 5. And you can see these two lined up, one behind the other in the pit lane, drivers out of the car. So I believe that should and probably will be day done for both of these guys. But as far as championship starts goes, it's not too bad for David Strid. Started on the front row in the pole and is still leading after 5 laps. He's got his points for leading a lap here at the front, followed by Roden Eftink and Miguel there down in 3rd. And the top 3 staying the same, Seb. So it looks like these guys have got it all figured out so far.
Yeah, but now we'll have a race where everyone will be bunched up together. So as we see a cheeky little pit strategies.
Oh wow, this is new. I haven't seen this before. Julien, you didn't tell us about this one. So strategy A, look at this for some info for you guys watching at home. So we've got 4 stops. It's going to be looking at laps 17, 34, 51, and then you've got that final window of 68 to the finish, depending on whether you want to go fast, as it says, or save some fuel. But it looks like everyone's going to come in and top off here, Seb. So
you know that beautiful pit strategies window, the graphic we have, you can throw it in the trash because now it's worthless.
Yeah, unfortunately, Julien, putting in all the work, and after a caution after lap 5, it's going to need to be tweaked ever so slightly. But we'll just have to add 5 laps to all the pit windows.
But this will ease all the drivers, so maybe not as much fuel saving now anymore, Jack, because now they can go full song. Oh, and we see Christensen only taking fuel in that stop. That was Eftink, sorry.
Eftink only taking fuel. You know what? If I was in that position, I probably would have done the same thing. With only when you're at the front and only 5 laps in, you don't really, excuse me, sorry, you don't really need to take tires, especially if you've only got the one car in front of you. And when you're looking at track temps of much lower than what you'd expect, 24 degrees at the moment, with a humidity of 5% and only 1 mile an hour of wind, so they're not going to be getting much tailwind, into whichever corner that there is a tailwind, of course. But as I was saying, when you've only got one car in front of you, Seb, you're really not going to be pushing those tyres that far with 5 laps in the books.
Yeah, negative. And also we're on reduced fuel cells, so lighter cars too, so you put less stress onto these Firestone tires. So I think that was a smart move to only take fuel and get that track position here, Jack.
It's a very, very good call, and I think one that could set them up very, very well for the rest of the race. But while we're under caution, I want to say a very big thank you, and obviously say a word for today's sponsor, of course, which you may have seen before. They're Florida Urgent Rescue are very big supporters of the International IndyCar League, and their mission is to save its animals from kill shelters and other urgent situations when they take on tough cases, including dogs who have been hit by cars, gunshot wounds, horrible things like embedded collars, cancerous tumours and other major medical issues that any dog may have. They rescue anything from senior dogs down to pregnant mothers and mothers that have already given birth. They focus primarily on rural shelters with limited resources, and they really try to help animals who need it the most. You can find everything you need to know online at https and then www.floridaurgentrescue.org. And as I mentioned last week, I have 2 pets at home, not dogs, unfortunately. I have 2 cats at home, and I got them from some rescue shelters. So that's something that definitely is a lot closer to home for me, but definitely give them a look if you are interested. Anyway, back to the racing action, and as you said, Seb, a lot of drivers taking the option to take some tires in that early pit stop. How do you think that's going to play out once we go green here?
That would be honestly, I don't know really what that will do, because only 5 laps here. If it were stock cars here, Jack, I would say the guys who took tires, they're going to have a big advantage. But since we're on Indy cars, I don't think that's much of an advantage, especially after only 5 laps. So that would be very interesting to follow. We have quite a few people here, Jack, that only took fuel, like Rodin Niftink, Brad Saucier. I think Pim van Gastel only took fuel too, as well as Brian Fiolas. Those are pretty much the guys who only took fuel. That would be very interesting to see their progression throughout the rest of the stints, as well as the people who decide not to pay it here, Jack.
Well, yeah, of course, the top 2, Christensen and Ford, they haven't pitted, so they're on the same Firestones they started the race with. It's going to be 44 Nation who's going to bring us back to green flag running. John Christensen steps on the gas. He says it's go time. We're going to go back to green flag racing here at Pocono for season 31. Ford is going to be under pressure from Eftink straight away, who is the first of those new tyre runners. Remember, practically everyone from Eftink down has stopped. But as I say that, they've stopped, but they've not taken tyres. Some have, some haven't. So it's going to be very interesting to see those who have taken tyres make the progress, as we see side-by-side action already. This is David Strid.
Yeah, battling with Rodin Niftink, who... Yeah, so this is tyres versus no tyres. And, that was a cheeky move for Miguel there, around the outside of turn 3. I think so. Strid looks slow, isn't he?
Yeah, he looks like he must have got a very, very bad run, or maybe he's just whacked down the engine map. These drivers have engine maps to play with in the cockpit to help fuel save, and maybe David Strid deciding to sit further down in the pack and potentially save a little bit of fuel early on, turn down that engine map, see how long he can stretch this sort of early stint into the race as we look further down the pack. This is Mike West who was probably the lowest of the stoppers, I believe. Make sure to keep an eye out for him. He's a very capable driver coming through traffic. Is Mike West. I'm sure he will make his way towards the top 10 in the given laps. And this is Pim van Gastel, who's looking to the inside of 3. Pim van Gastel is going to go from 5th to 3rd. Can he get 2nd? Not quite. There's a big slide there. I think that was Callum Ford who's going to actually lose out to Jeremy Miguel there behind him in the 981 machine. Seb, it all seems to be kicking off.
Yeah, they nearly had a crash here there, and Socia takes the lead here. So in the Nissan Nismo car, that's a very ironic paint scheme to have on a car which has a Honda engine.
Okay, so Bryce Saucier in the Nissan machine, as you said, he has pitted. He pitted on lap 5, but he didn't take tyres. So John Christensen is still very much within a shout here to keep the track position going and keep that gap and maintain that gap. And it seems like he's doing just that as Rodan Eftink is trying to fend off Van Gastel, who's in turn trying to fend off. Oh, missing nose cone. Oh, and they get turned to the left. That's going to be Dan Ench with the meatball.
And that's going to be a caution, with Dan Ench. What on earth was that? That looks super weird.
I'll let you walk us through this one,
so Dan Ench, almost like he got bumped or something.
It looks like something broke almost. He tries to get away from the wall.
I think Fiola's point of view. So that was already very aggressive block here. I would like to see from Fiola's point of view, because I feel like Fiola's dumped him.
Yeah, it looked from Dan Ench's on board like something broke, but then when you look at the TV camera, you can definitely see there was contact, because I was missing nose cone there on Fiola's there in the pink car in the middle of your screen. You can see now going slowly, and we'll get a ride on board here with the 06.
So.
Oh, Dan Ench goes for the block.
Yeah, I think that was a stupid block from Dan Ench. Like, why? Like, look at this. Look at how slow him and his opponents are. He goes for the block, so that happens. But I don't know. I think this. What the heck?
I think there was nothing to suggest that Dan Ench there was taking avoiding action, and maybe he just didn't see Fiola's. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he was too focused there.
After that, for the final spin, because Brian was nowhere. Or
so he took. Oh, you can see there a little bit of contact going into turn number 1.
Something. That explains why he was super slow.
So he's taken a hit there into turn number 1. You'll ride on board here, rear view mirror. You'll be able to see this absolutely perfectly, and we're going to go into turn 1. There's the contact, and then he's slow all the way through turn number 1, and then
I still think that's a dumb way to block. Still think that's very dumb to block like he did. I understand you got damage and stuff like that, but why are you going up like that? Unless...
You know what? I think this is one for the stewards' room. I think we can't really be dissecting this one a little bit too much, because we don't have all of the camera angles that the stewards will. And Polak there with a little bit of contact in the wars a little bit has Katie Polak been. I mean, last week at Indianapolis there was a little bit of a rough and tumble with that machine as well, and today not being able to keep the nose clean and a little bit of contact. Luckily for Polak's point of view, that was of course netcode, so no damage hopefully for their sake, but they find themselves at the moment up into 10th place. So top 10 at the moment for the 42. We'll see if they can keep the 10th place or top 10 run going for the remainder of the 190-mile race that we have ahead of us. 2 cautions already, Seb, and we're not even 15 laps in.
Yeah, that's we don't have usually that much cautions here in the International IndyCar League due to the low car counts, but we have over 20 cars. Also something to add here, Jack. We have also quite a few people that pitted again during that caution. I think only Pascal Fiolas and Mike West didn't pit. Yep.
It's showing for me that Mike West has pitted twice.
Yeah. But he has pitted on lap 7. as we see in the graphic here.
Yes. So that will be an interesting way to see how things will pan out for Mike West. He actually now does peel off, does he? No, he doesn't.
No,
he tries to sell the rest of the field a little bit of a dummy, actually.
Pascafielas, I noticed that it's not the first time he doesn't pit with the rest of the pack. He pits after, which I don't quite get.
It could be running an alternate strategy. You never know. He's wise, the wiser of maybe the two Fiolas family members here today. We'll see who comes out on top of that little inter-family duel.
I mean, to be fair, he's not the one that crashed.
Exactly. Well, I mean, it was from Fiolas' point of view, not Pascal Fiolas, the other Fiolas. From his point of view, Brian Fiolas, that was a very wrong place, wrong time type of accident. From first glance, it did look like he gave a massive headbutt to the 52 machine, but unfortunately, when you're doing speeds of over 210 miles an hour, you know, when something happens, you have very, very minimal time to react. And look who's at the top of the field. You see on screen the 69 machine, Mike West, leading the way at the moment. I know it is mostly due to pit stop strategy, but I pointed out a few moments ago to watch out for him because he will definitely make his way up the field. And fair enough, here he is leading the way on lap number 14, and he, I'm sure, will get his championship point, get some points on the board for leading a lap in this one. But Miguel and Saucier, Eftink, Christensen, Strauss, Van Gastel and Polak make out the top 8 at the moment. And out of those that have pitted, all but who is that? That is John Christensen, who is the only driver that is on my timing screen showing to have pitted once out of this top 8. So that would be extremely interesting to see how he pans out the rest of this one compared to the rest of the field. But it looks like we're going to get back to green flag racing as bodywork flies before the green flag drops there in the mid-pack. It's going to be Mike West that leads us back to green flag racing. Second green flag restart of the race, and they're fanning out already, even pretty much before the start-finish line there in the background. We've got 2 lanes running already into turn number 1. This is on board with the number 86. This is going to be Callum Ford, the Velocity Online Racing driver, and then David Strid here, pole sitter, finding himself in the danger zone at the moment, followed by Brian Fiolas. Watch for these two. These two could find their way forward very, very quickly. He's back with
I thought it was 3 wide in turn 2 here, Jack.
That was very, very close. There was a lot of mixing for position, but these guys need to be careful. You can see a bit of a gap there opening up in front, and we might, Seb, have 2 packs forming very early on in this green flag restart.
Oh, someone's spinning. Yes, Rick Lawson had a black flag here, Jack.
I will say that could have been the reason for the bodywork flying. That might have been a restart infringement there as we're running on board with the 99. This is Gomez. He is currently in the number 10 position in the 99. Sorry, that's Manuel Gomez. Esteban is the last name, not Gomez. Do apologise if I got the surname wrong, Manuel. He is currently up into 10th place and going strong, actually. 2 stops following the regular strategy, I'll call it, the one that most of the field is going with at the moment, sort of tagging along with the lead group rather nicely almost, sort of working with the likes of Lowe in front to try and catch up to this sort of lead pack. But it's going to be Guilherme Miguel who is going to be leading the way as he takes the lead from Mike West. Seb, it's going to be a first-time lead for Miguel here in the 981 machine, as far as I know.
Yeah, I think that's one of the first times we've seen him, or probably... Although that Valvoline car do look familiar. Oh, as they're fighting turn 2, Callum Ford looking slow out there, but for that lead pack, I don't think Miguel is that much in a good spot because he's leading that pack, he's pushing the air, so people are staying fuel behind him. That would be very interesting to follow here, Jack.
Yeah, the chasing pack need to watch out here because I believe that, as you said, Miguel's going to be the one punching the hole in the air, and you can see a lot of jostling for position here. Christensen wants to get involved in the Alzheimer's Association number 44 Nation machine as he's going to lose out to Van Gastel. And can Polak follow him through? I believe they can. It's going to be close. Thinks better of it. Going to try and find the best amount of clean air that the 42 can in between Christensen and Van Gastel in front. Christensen's being hung out to dry here though, Seb, but he dives to the inside. And will he be able to wash up in front of Van Gastel to cut that one off? No, it's not going to happen. And watch out, here comes Polak in the 42. Hello and goodbye. Christensen now has to settle for 8th place, or is he? Back to the inside, John Christensen goes on Katie Polak. It's going to be a very difficult one to keep it down there, as he's going to be tucked right up under the rear wing of Van Gastel. Polak almost tags the wall trying to find the outside line on that number 10 in front. My word, it's all kicking off here, Seb.
Yeah, quite a nervous pack here we have, Jack. We still have 56 laps to go, so that's very interesting thing to see, as Polak has the knife in the teeth right now.
Got the bit between the teeth, exactly, trying to make progress as best they can on this one, struggling to get past the number 10 of Van Gastel, though. Him, from what I've known when I've covered races that he's taken part in, he's very much a strategy man. Many times in races, you know, he'll be up there, he'll be chugging along at the back, he'll be not as in the back of the pack, but at the back of the lead group, excuse me. And he'll just be minding his own business, and then once we hit 10 to go, you suddenly see that green number 10 machine inside the top 5, inside the top 10, and usually he makes a very, very good result out of it in that number 10 Honda, currently in 6th position. But I think at this point now, Sen, it looks to be that everyone's sort of calming down ever so slightly. You can see a couple of people looking, but I think we've got enough green flag running now for everyone to sort of...
Was that Christensen that was blinking?
It was indeed. Yeah, Christensen there, you need to watch out, my friend. Otherwise, you might find yourself without so many friends here in the lead group. And it looks like everyone's sort of stayed relatively close together, actually. We've got the top 10 separated by 1.4 seconds. And the top 15, I believe, literally around 2 seconds coverage, which, 3.2 seconds rather than 2. So the top 15 really close together. Gomez is he dropping to the back of this pack?
Seems like it.
You don't tend to see that too much, actually, in IndyCar racing. I know that's a strategy I definitely like to do whenever I do some stock car Talladega or Daytona running. I usually tend to drop to the back of the lead pack and sort of let the cinema happen in front of me and find some places. And I believe that is exactly what Esteban in the 99 is planning on doing. We'll see how well that pans out for him. But when you're back there, I believe, Seb, especially in an IndyCar, you make life a little bit more difficult for yourself in terms of managing the dirty air, because you got 15 cars, 16 cars going through that air in front of you, sort of churning it up and making it almost unusable.
We see Polak overtaking Christensen. Yeah, the dirty air is very bad because these cars are aero dependent. So you're behind the car, you're in that hot air. The tires are not having a good day. Your aero doesn't work as great as it used to be, and you're going even faster in the corner than you were before. So good luck with that.
But you know who is having a good day? I think us and everyone at home sitting on the sofa watching this fantastic Pocono action is having a fantastic day. And it's made even better, of course, by everything that comes together to make this Velocity Online Racing stream the way it is. And that's courtesy, once again, to TrackCams 22, to the custom IndyCar TV overlay by Andrew Schultz of SKS Graphics, and of course, the man on the switchboard himself, Julien Altena. He is today's broadcast director and giving you all this fantastic action and finding all the best battles on circuit to look at, especially this one here, as you see Van Gastel and Christensen once again going side by side. Is that Ryan Bowes there getting involved again as well? Yes, it is. The 25 once again, no newcomer to the International IndyCar Series, as he now tucks up behind Van Gastel, and I think that these two are going to stay in line for the moment. And who's this coming down pit road?
That's Mike West. But he was one of the guys that didn't pit on the last caution, wasn't he, Jack?
Yes, so he's only pitted once compared to everyone else on 2 pit stops so far. So he's going to come down completely by himself. And trust me, that is the last thing you want in... this isn't really a super speedway, but especially when there's a speedway where, you're going to have pretty high average speeds. The last thing you want is to come in by yourself with no help, because you are making your afternoon a lot more difficult for yourself.
I think he's good on 2 more stops, methinks. Yeah, so he's good on two more stops here. So that's good for him in terms of strategy. If there's no caution yet, so that means he will not have to do an extra pit stop.
So we'll see where he finds himself at the moment. It's down in 19th position there. You can see on the live timing screen. So he's going to be 30 odd seconds behind. And looking on my live timing, courtesy of ATVO live timing by App Engineering, you can find the link to the live timing that we see up here in the commentary booth down in the description below. I'm sure there is a link down there somewhere where you can get all of the information that we see up in the commentary booth, and that is from stints to pit counters, pit stop times, pit lane times, position gains, sector times. You know, we have not a track map, but sort of a live progression line, I'll call it. I don't really know exactly what it's called, but you can see where each of the cars are on circuits. You can follow your favorite driver, and it seems that Mike West has fed out just in front of this lead pack. You can see that car up there in the distance. That is Mike West, so he's going to be falling a lap down pretty soon nonetheless, and this is on board with Katie Polak. Well, that was Mike West. You can see there West on the rear wing of the IR18, and he's running it seems to be the line to run here, Seb, is sort of like in the middle of the circuit almost. You know, you don't want to run right up against the wall, it seems like.
Well, depends on where you are on track. I mean, I never go onto the inside for like all three corners of this track, but you can also use like here, like Rodin is doing. Like you can use the outside lane, inside, middle. Pocono actually gives a lot of options in terms of racing lines.
And just for those watching at home, what would you think? You know, we see the cars go into the corners, and suddenly everyone fans out and chooses, you know, a different line. And you know, is that just to save tires, or is that to sort of give them a better run to make an overtake?
You have 4 hours. Will be the judge, jury, and executioner of your ideas. Oh, was it that Fearless was looking very aggressive in those mirrors?
As we ride on board at the moment with Jason Lowe, he finds himself just inside the top 10 so far with 30 laps run so far. It's going to be an interesting finish to this race. We still have a lot of cars running. We only have a couple of drivers that have unfortunately not made it to the complete 30 laps that we have run so far today. I believe we have 19 drivers at the moment that are on the lead lap and running, and we're about to lose another one. As you can see there, Mike West up ahead, after following an alternate pit strategy, finds himself a little bit further down the order than he would like. Who is that pitting? That is Miguel in the 981. That's going to be the first of the pitters.
Interesting.
So Rodan Eftink now takes the lead ahead of Katie Polak. Strauss, who has recovered from that awful start that he had at the start of the race, followed by Christensen, Sociem, Van Gastel. Doesn't really want to make too much progress, it looks like. Van Gastel has stayed consistent around the mid-top 10 range, probably doing what he does best and waiting to the last few moments to make his pounce towards the front of the field. And Christensen, he's been looking good today, Seb. I think Christensen is...
Oh, look at the back. Someone had a mare. Oh, wow, they're still servicing him like that? That's insane. That's Brad Stanley, by the way.
That's, yeah, I saw that was almost like a Le Mans pit stop, you know, 45 nosed out there. Give himself the perfect launch out of the corner. I think we will get a replay of this. And just snags the rear brakes. Austin Powers.
Isn't that the perfect placement for your pit stop? Because, I mean, you're not going to have issues with, I don't think they have like pit boxes limitations here, but I think I got. Oh, there's a black flag. Oh, Katie Polak, that's a meatball for Katie Polak actually, and a black flag for Manuel Gomez Esteban. What on
Is this going to be contact? I would imagine this could be speeding for Esteban into pit road. We'll ride on board, and yeah, that's way too quick into pit road. You can see there he needs to slow down another maybe 15 mile an hour. before, after he crossed the pit line. But where's this meatball then? Has Polak already got?
It must have been a black flag for speed. I don't know. Like ATV says it's a meatball, but didn't look like Polak had any big issues.
Yeah, no, I think that is. I think we'll put that down to speeding as well, because the car looks okay. There's no bits hanging off it, and all four wheels are still attached.
Let's see.
Oh,
what on earth was that?
Maybe not.
That's probably a screen freeze for her.
Or it looks like a wheel disconnect, because we'll see here.
No, if it was a wheel disconnect, that would have been more dramatic, I think.
That's very, very strange, because you could see
brutal.
there, even when they made contact with the wall, the steering wheel stayed at the perfect angle that the freeze or disconnect happened at. So that was horrendous. We're getting word that she tells us that iRacing froze, so that's going to be a bad luck streak continued for Katie Polak. A rough one last week at Indianapolis Motor Speedway with some contact, and then unfortunately at speeds that you really wouldn't expect, making some contact with the wall in pit road during a pit stop takes her out of the running. And we look now to live pictures. This is Jason Lowe, who is currently running about in the 5th position. Started 8th, so he's having a very good day, making some progress, and he's about to challenge Ryan Bowles to the inside for 4th place, and makes that look rather easy in the 004 machine. Now, this is going to be interesting. This is a fight that we love to see. Jason Lowe and Eftink, and of course Matthias Strauss. 3 very good drivers, and we've got Miguel there mixed in as well. We don't quite know his peak talent ability. We've only seen him on limited occasions, so he could very much be a wild card in this situation at the moment, with 35 laps completed out of the 76. And while we sort of cross over a rough halfway point, I want to say another massive thank you to today's sponsor, which is of course the Florida Urgent Rescue. These guys are absolutely fantastic. They are phenomenal. They are based out in Florida. Florida Urgent Rescue, their mission is to save animals from the kill shelters and other urgent situations, and they take on tough cases with dogs that have gunshot wounds, been hit by cars, who have had embedded collars, or really ill with things like cancerous tumours and any other major medical problems. And it's not just limited to one certain type of dog. They take on elderly dogs, young dogs, pregnant mothers, mothers that have already been birthed to their child, and they focus mainly on the rural shelters with limited resources. And all the help that you need to find out about them can be found on their website at www.floridaurgentrescue.org. And that is a cause that we definitely like to support here at the Velocity Online Racing channel. And while I'm at sort of all the promo stuff, if you've liked the race that we've been showing so far, and you like this action here at Pocono Speedway, and you want to keep up to date with all the IndyCar action that will be coming your way over the next month or two, feel free to hit that like button, subscribe, and do all of that fancy good stuff that every YouTuber will tell you to do, because the algorithm here on YouTube does not hand itself to small creators. So anything you can do will be absolutely, it will be taken beyond nicely. It will be taken to heart, and we'll absolutely we'll love you for it. So if you could do any of that, as there's a bit of contact with the wall. Who was that? I wanted to say that was
Matthias Strauss, because you got like some guys that are I see smokes there behind.
No, it wasn't Strauss. Who was that? That looks like it might have been Fiolis or West. Maybe it was a darker car. I was too busy yapping on about YouTube algorithms, and I missed
we missed everything
with the wall there. It looks like Christensen's dropped down a little bit as well, so there may have been a check-up as a result of it. Fiolis looks okay. Ryan Fiolis in the 06 looks okay at the moment. Who's that 2 in front? I want to say it was Mike West, but I could be stand corrected. Maybe we'll get a replay of that coming our way. We do. So it's 3-1.
Oh, that was Pascal Fiolis. Boys, that was right in front of the lead pack. So.
And Pascal, finding his way into the wall a little bit, and as the pack tries to find its way around, he's obviously decided, okay, we need to make the route to pit road, and you can see Christensen trying to find his way on the inside, and that just causes a little bit of a chokehold on the rest of the pack, and that's why we saw Christensen so far back, and it looks like it's all okay. Maybe a little bit of contact there for Pascal Fiolas. I didn't see any meatball or anything, but my word, that was close then.
Yeah, he had a meatball coming into the pits, but this series do have a fast repair, if I'm not mistaken, and so that was fast repair used for Pascal Fiolas, but he has none now. And I validated.
Yes, no, I think it will update once he crosses the line, but so far, so there it is, you can see there, 19th place, P. Fiolas, using one of his only fast repairs, and Dan Ench and Stanley as well will join him in using their fast repairs, with 41 laps run in this race, and sort of a bit of a godsend. One of the things I quite like about some of these leagues, giving you the opportunity to have that lifeline should you get into...
That was nasty behind between Strid and Christensen.
That was very, very close, wasn't it? It almost looked like Christensen may have had a little bit of a snap there off of turn number 3 onto the front straight, trying to get a run on David Strid in front of the 48. These two were very much so in contact, in battle last time out at Indianapolis, and seemed to be resuming things near enough where they left off. These guys were all fighting for the win at the Brickyard before an untimely safety car brought that race to that cut us short of a grandstand finish, as I mentioned earlier. But these two fighting over 10th place now, 10th and 9th. These two blue cars on your screen, they are at the moment, and that really goes to show really the level of skill that we have out on track today. We have some of the best in the European IndyCar scene turning up today for what seems to be a really, really cracking race here at Pocono. What do you think?
I mean, you said it. You said everything here, Jack. I have nothing else to add.
Well, perfect. I mean, I like to think that I covered some of the points, but the fact that I covered all of them is even better as we ride on board here. This is the number 25 Monster Energy machine, Ryan Bowles. He is up into 6th place and looking to maybe make a bit of a move here on Van Gastel. No, as you can see, who's that in the rocket ship of a Nissan? My word, that was Bryce Saucier going past. Yep. I think that was contact.
Someone was saying hello to the wall down on the outside there.
Was that? That was Mike West again. So I think that was another bit of contact in the wall there for Mike West, maybe trying to get out the way and just doesn't turn into the corner.
Saved by the netcode gods.
I think maybe getting a little bit spooked there by this suddenly appearing Bryce Saucier in the number 7, overtaking about 4 cars into turn number 1. That was a move that I definitely thought was rather impressive and probably should have paid a little bit more attention to, as he's now going to try and do the same thing to Van Gastel. No, he's not. He's going to try and wait for a better opportunity. He's going to wait another day for that one. But at the moment, it's Strauss from Miguel, who's really impressed me so far today, actually, consistently in the top 5. And there goes Eftink, maybe challenging to take that 3rd place away and take him off the podium for what seems to be the first time in forever for Miguel in the 981. And he's going to fend that off rather nicely. And Eftink is going to have to go back to the drawing board on that occasion. This time looks to the outside line, tries to find his way into a little bit of slipstream and potentially a dive into turn number 1. But we look at the lead, it's going to be low, and Strauss swapping once again. Strauss is going to take the lead into turn number 1. I don't really think the swap drafting is going to do an awful lot here, boys. You've got the entire field tucked up within about 2/10 of you. You're not really ever going to break away from the field on this occasion, I don't think.
And now we're entering the pit window here, Jack. Lap 46, we have 31 laps to go.
So this will be rather interesting to see who will pit when. The entire top 7 are all on the same amount of pit stops. The first person that has pitted once more is going to be David Strid in the 48. He's on 4 pit stops compared to the top 7 that are on 3. And then we have John Christensen that has managed to eke out only 2 pit stops in this race so far. I wonder if that is actually accurate or not, because that is rather impressive for him to still be inside the top 9, only doing 2 pit stops. I think those 2 cautions definitely would have played into his hands, but I think that is rather impressive nonetheless. As we look back at that is going to be Jason Lowe there from the Valvoline number 981. We are on board with Miguel, courtesy of some fantastic onboard cameras by Julien Altena, and he's going as there's contact.
Just close. And that's a caution. No caution.
No caution. We stay green. But Matthias Strauss, my word, he was close to having a massive accident there.
Inch. Matthias Strauss is a meatball.
So that definitely would have been of some contact, I'd imagine, as drivers come down from the high side of the racetrack to make it into pit road. Maybe one driver misjudging it ever so slightly and cutting across the front nose.
And Manuel Gomez Esteban also got a black flag entering. Wow. The pit lane is the source of many happenings here today, Jack, and it's not an easy pit lane. So here we'll see the accident with Matthias Strauss, and
it seems to be. Has he lost it by himself? Or we'll get. So he comes. So this is off of turn number 3. He just gets drilled. My word.
Gets drilled. Oh, that's brutal.
I was just praising how impressed I was with Miguel in the Valvoline machine, the 981.
That's the third jinx of our duo.
That is the third jinx. That is, I would take a little bit of fault for that one. I'm sorry. And this is live pictures, I believe, and that's a spin
that explains the black flag he got the lap later. I mean, Esteban, I don't want to be mean, but like you dumping Matthias Strauss, that's enough warning that maybe you're coming in too hard to the pits.
A little bit of handbrake turn there into the pit road, as we now look back at. This is going to be live pictures, I believe, but we're right in the middle of the pit stop cycle at the moment, and we've got everyone pitting. This is Rodan Efting. He hasn't pitted yet. He's still on 3 pit stops, but everyone behind, top 3 down, have all come into the pits. It's Rodan Efting and Pim van Gastel that are yet to make their way, and as I say that was very, very close. I'm watching my timing screen like a hawk, Seb, to see if there was any penalties, and I'm going to say safe. That was almost as on the limit as you can get, but they still have the actual stop to do itself. Can they get it stopped nicely? Pim does. He gets it stopped within his marks. It doesn't look like there's any delays there. Rodan Efting does exactly the same. Is it going to be tyres, or is it going to be fuel and tyres? It's going to be tyres. It's going to be both. There's 7-8 seconds in the box for both drivers. Pim actually 4/10 quicker in the box than Efting, and he's going to rejoin right into the path of Miguel, Jason Lowe, Fiolas, Bowles, Saucier, Strid. Van Gastel loses out. He's going to be back in 8th position. Efting's going to rejoin right into the thick of it. He's going to have no warm-up. He's going to be right on the back of Saucier, Bowles and Fiolas as they now battle over the 3rd place, the last place on the podium so far. 51 of 76. We're coming towards the closing stages of this race, Seb, and you can start to feel the tension building.
Exactly. Now it's become a battle of position. You want to be the closer to the lead as you can.
That's exactly what you want. As we now see, this is Guilherme Miguel making a challenge on Jason Lowe. He's going to go to the inside line. The Valvoline machine hits the front after a hairy moment with Matthias Strauss coming into pit road. It doesn't seem to affect the 981 though. He hits the front.
So my bad. I actually confronted Gomez with Miguel actually, because I was saying like Gomez, you did Matthias earlier, but no, that was Miguel. That's a big mistake on my part.
Yeah, Gomez, you have the right to DM Seb some very nice words after this race, after false accusing.
I mean, I deserved it.
But Gomez, unfortunately, is 7 laps down at this point in time. So unfortunately for him, I think his race has very much so come to an end, as we see now Christensen and Van Gastel going side by side, swapping around positions. This is going to be over 7th, 8th and 9th. So this is going to be Eftink, Christensen and Van Gastel. Eftink is the car in front, the more white of the two cars in front, followed by Christensen. Van Gastel's going to get a run here. He's going to go to the inside of John Christensen. Will Christensen fight it? There's a slow car on the apex. My word, that is Pascal Fiolas getting well out the way. Maybe not in the most ideal of locations, but makes it around both of the faster cars nonetheless. They're going to run side by side, and the two Velocity Online racing machines are going to give each other a little bit of slipstream and make life a little bit harder for Van Gastel. But boys, you need to focus on getting to those in front instead of battling amongst yourselves, because that gap's only going to get bigger.
Yeah, the bickering will only lose you time and nothing else, and that's I mean, the draft is still pretty long because we're on the Superspeedway package, so they can catch back, but still, that's some resources spent for pretty much nothing.
Just want to point out actually the biggest movers that we've had in this race so far out of the top 5. So Fiolas in 5th, he's up 10 places. Bowles that you see on the middle of your screen now, the Monster Energy machine, he's up 12 places. This is Brian Fiolas, this is Ryan Bowles that started 16th and now 4th, up 12 places as Saucier makes a move for the lead. He is up 8 places. You know, we saw that Nissan absolutely flying there, overtaking 4 cars into turn 1 at one point. He takes the lead off of Miguel in a 981. They're going to run side by side, so it won't be for too long. But Saucier hits the front for the first time in a while. I think it's been a long while since I've seen Saucier in a IndyCar race that I've covered, but he hits the front now on lap 56 in the Nissan Nismo livery machine. He's going to be challenged by the Valvoline 981. Followed closely in the wheel tracks is the Monster Energy number 25. Ryan Bowles waiting for his moment to pounce, but do not forget about Jason Lowe. He's always been there. He's always been there, not only on this occasion, but on many races in the past 7. To be quite honest with you, I like the look of Jason Lowe to go a long way in this race.
I mean, he's usually in the good strategies and stuff, but can he make it to the, can he pull up a good win? Oh, boom! And there goes airborne!
My word, and he slides back across the track. I think he tags Pim Van Gastel as well. As Pim's backwards. That is, who's that? That is Christensen, I believe, that's backwards as well. Oh my word, it's all kicked off. No, that's not. That's David Strid who's backwards. Sorry, Christensen made it through the 44 Nation machine. Gets through that okay. And I look at the pit counter for 2 seconds and miss a whole world of carnage on the back straight. Was that Pascal Fiolas that was sideways?
I think it was because we've already seen him being pretty slow for like the last few laps.
Yes, it was.
So he came out of the pits.
Yeah, you walk us through this one, Seb, because I can't make any sense of this.
Middle of the track, out of turn 1. And he comes back on the inside. That's a bad look. That's a bad look. Wow. And that's his son going airborne, by the way. Brian was in 3rd place. He was fighting for even the win. Got screwed out because
you can say as much as you like, and you can try and give Pascal the benefit of the doubt, but when there's not really a lot you can say to defend that. I mean, he's gone from the outside to the inside and completely wiped out. Who was that? That was Bryce Saucier, who was leading at the time, and unfortunately,
nearly half of the field I got taken out. By the way, taken in such a manner that they couldn't get back to the pits, and so had to call the towing truck. So that means they have to wait like 2-3 minutes before they can get their fast repair and pits done. So that means like for them, oh boy, they'll even be 2 laps down maybe. So that's that's quite bad. Only David Strid manages to limp back to the pits here, Jack.
Yeah, that was That was not the way that we wanted to see the first race of season 31 go. I mean, that's taken out the likes of Miguel Saucier, Brian Fiolas, Van Gastel, Pascal Fiolas, Esteban was already out. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rick Lovison as well got caught up in that. So I think
they're touching at the exit of the pins. That's Jason Lowe, David Street, actually. Jeez.
I completely missed that, Seb. I've been too busy
on
the analysis.
Stream, Jack?
I'm doing too much of the analysis. There's so much action going on the main screen, but we get a replay of this, and whoa!
Boom! That could have been poorly.
That's a hip and shoulder check and a half if I've ever seen one. That was a little bit of spatial awareness lacked there by Jason Lowe. I think a little bit rejoining right into the side pod of what looked to be John Christensen. We get a look from Christensen's onboard, and you can't go to the right of that yellow line because it's track limits and sort of marks the side of the pit lane, so he couldn't go any further to the right hand side. And Jason Lowe obviously didn't really see a bright blue number 44 Nation Altena Autosport machine in the fast lane. But look at this, Ryan Bowles up 15 places, currently leads, starting 16th is the leader with lap 59 in the books at the moment out of 76. It's I bet he didn't see that coming his way once he lined up on the starting grid, Seb.
Nope. That's quite a comeback and a half for Ryan Bowles, I gotta say.
But while we're under caution, I just want to say that if you've liked the stream here on the Velocity Online Racing channel, and you have an IndyCar or Oval stream or series that you would like to be broadcasted, please do. We urge you to get in touch, because Velocity Online Racing delivers the professional iRacing broadcast provided by an authentic race day experience, or providing an authentic race day experience, as you can see on screen at the moment. Our custom IndyCar style overlay can create a clean and immersive viewing experience, which is reminiscent, of course, of the professional motorsports broadcast that you see on the likes of Fox and NBC, streamed in 1440p 60 fps, of course. That production, and with expert commentary, the Velocity Online Racing guys give your series the presentation it should deserve. If you want to relive the biggest moments as well, VOR can edit a highlight reel that will go live in the coming days or coming weeks after the event, which can spotlight the series' most exciting moments to help you boost numbers and increase exposure. If that sounds like something that interests you, please do get in touch. Contact Velocity Online Racing at velocityonlineracing@gmail.com. Coverage can start as low as €50 per hour. So please, if that's something that appeals to you, please do get in touch. But safety car lights are off at the moment, and it's going to be Ryan Bowles who finds himself somehow in the lead of this race, followed by what seems to be a bulletproof Rodan F-Tink at the moment, surviving God knows how many cautions, with John Christensen in tow, Matthias Strauss in fourth. It's going to be an all-star lineup to bring us back to the green flag with 16 laps to go this time by. Ryan Bowles will choose when to pull the pin. He does now. We go green with 16 laps to go here at Pocono Speedway.
Normally, we should go to the end here, Jack.
Hopefully we'll go to the end here, but you can never write the script.
On fuel, I mean.
Well, yeah, okay. On fuel, we should be going to the end, but in terms of cautions, of course, I thought that you've done enough broadcast, Seb, to know that you can never write the script.
No. We know like a caution can come at 2 laps before the end, and Rosses. Meanwhile, no Gale has a black flag, actually, Jack.
He does indeed. That I would imagine is that they're in pits already. So that might have been a yellow infringement. So passing under yellow, we're hearing, so that is definitely taken them out of the equation with 16 laps to go. That won't really give them enough time to make anything out of things. So one person we haven't actually seen who's just broken into the top 8 is Anthony Heitzma. the number 22. We haven't really mentioned them so far today. A driver that has always, I think, been more on the aggressive side. Started 19th, currently up into 7th. The Dutchman looking for another Dutch win after their, rather embarrassing domination over Sweden in the World Cup last night. I'm sure Julien on the broadcast was head over heels for that. So Heitzema trying to his favorite sport, he says in my ear, is Heitzema tries to find his way.
Look at this, the free one nearly. Welcome to Pocono.
This is very, very close. Things are getting very dicey at the moment. Now Jason Lowe is trying to sneak up the inside of John Christensen. They're going to run side by side. Christensen gets the benefit of the draft. He's going to lose out to Strauss. Will Lowe, it's going to be close, but I think he'll hold on ahead of the number 20 Team Watson Racing driver in 5th position at the moment.
He's a lap car up ahead.
That is going to be the 980, which is going to be Gill. So that's the 15th place man. He's only a lap down, but he will be an obstacle nonetheless. Whether he gets out the way or not, that is entirely up to him. I believe blue flags do not apply with 16 or so laps to go in this one. Although we are just under 10 laps left to run, I still don't think the blue flags are going to be applied here, as Bowles still leads the way from F-Tink in 2nd place. It's going to be Christensen who rounds out the current top 3. As we see who is this. This is going to be Callum Ford trying to defend in the 86 against Anthony Heitzema. It's going to be close. A new Velocity Online racing machine in red, white and green. Currently in 6th place. He's made a little bit of a mistake there. That was super loose, wasn't it? He's going to be under fire now from Heitzema, and it's going to be, who is this? David Strid is in 3rd, not 3rd. He's in 8th, but 3rd out of this trio. He's going to be challenging to try and get the place off of Ford and Heitzema, but it's going to be a 2-horse race for the moment. The lap car gets out the way. That's good to see.
Good to see here. Now we have this pack, and they're bickering. Is losing them the lead pack here, Jack. Thankfully, that this lap car that can help them a bit, getting closer to the top 5. But any more bickering, and that will be goodbye to fight for the lead.
Yeah, they need to watch out here. Gill is almost a little bit of a lifeline, sort of building the bridge between the lead pack and this sort of chasing trio that consists of not far off the rest of the running cars. But now this is back to the lead pack. This is going to be the man in the middle of your screen is Jason Lowe. In front of him is going to be Christensen, followed by F-Tink, and then Bowles in front as well. And there's actually another there's another lapped car, is that, in front of Ryan Bowles. Who's that? That's Miguel in the 981. So this car has been running at the front all day long. This car is actually a lap down as well. So don't get fooled by the track position. This car that we're riding on board with at the moment, the Valvoline machine, is not in the fight for the win. The real battle for the win starts with the man behind him, that 25, the blue and turquoise looking machine. That is Ryan Bowles. That is our current race leader. And then everyone behind him is for position.
Exactly. Now for Ryan Bowles, yeah, this lap car at front, you're making the deal. I'm letting you in the lead lap while you give me a bit of a tow. But at some point, you'll need to pass him.
It's a tricky business, this, because you don't want to leave yourself too exposed to those behind us. Now here comes F-Tink. F-Tink is obviously on the hybrid, I believe. He's going to be pressing the button there. He's going to be down into turn number 1, and he's going to get past both of them. So Ryan Bowles trying to be a little bit hesitant in getting past the lap car of Miguel. He's actually going to almost lose out to Christensen as well. And crucially now for F-Tink, he's got a car in between himself and the second place machine. And now it's all starting to jostle up again as Strauss looks to make a move on low and gets that one done. He's now going to be on hot pursuit of Christensen in the 44.
That was a smart move from Roden. Oh, West making a good move on the Callum Ford.
This is West making a recovery after losing the lead on the safety car restart. He's down in 8th at the moment, but don't be fooled. He could be back in this fight nonetheless. All this battling at the front will bring that chasing pack back into contention. There's probably about half a second worth of gap there in between the two at the moment, judging by what I can see on the live tracker. But it's going to be only a matter of time before these two packs rejoin and make themselves one again, as Miguel actually says, you know what, I want to be the effective race leader of this one. And Efting says, you know what, fair enough, I'm not fighting you for the win. You can sit in front as long as you don't go slowly. I don't mind it. But he says, actually, never mind. I'm going to go back and put you in between myself and Ryan Bowles.
Because look at the gap there is behind. They're quite a bit far, second and third place are.
Efting is leading as he wants to be. He's decided he wants to push the air for everyone else and be leading from the front as Heitzema gets very, very close there. This is with Christensen.
That was close between Christensen and Strauss.
Well, Strauss is going
three wide.
To be fire. This is going to be 3 wide into turn number 3. Is it going to come off? Very, very close.
Well, someone's going into the pits. Actually.
That is going to be Mike West that comes into the pits.
Interesting.
So that is going to be a race-defining moment for Mike West there. That is going to be, unless a caution comes out, he is going to cement his place down towards the bottom half of the timing tower. And this is Anthony Heitzema. He's been staring at the rear wing of that number 44, Christensen, for too long. He's been looking ever more feisty with 6 to go here. He's definitely going to be on the charge and wanting to look to get past John Christensen in the number 44. Will he be able to, though? That is another question. Looking at David Stridnow and Jason Lowe, those two are fighting over 6th and 7th place. But look at Strauss. He's very close to Anthony Heitzema. It's going to be a challenge for 4th place. Here comes Matthias Strauss. He's going to look to the inside line. Will he make the dive? He thinks better of it for the moment.
Look at this, he just took clean air in 1, and look at this, Heitzema was in the dirty of Christensen, and he got a bad run out of turn 1. Christensen on the inside of Bowles.
Speaking of bad runs, look at that from Ryan Bowles. He's made a really hash up of that first corner. He's lost the place to Christensen, so it's going to be an Altena Autosport 1-2 with 5 to go.
Pretty far ahead of Heitzema there.
This is on board with Strauss. It looks like he's almost giving Heitzema the benefit of the doubt and trying to work with the 22 in front for the moment. You could see him lift into turn number 1 there. Is he trying to line up a run into turn number 2 or turn number 3? You can see Ryan Bowles there, our race leader, a mere few corners ago, currently now down in 3rd place, losing the lead after a horrible exit out of the first corner last time around, staring now at the rear wing of John Christensen. He is the second man of the 2 Altena Autosport cars out front at the minute, but we've got 2 lapped cars in the way, Seb. One of them, I believe, is Mike West, that they have navigated around relatively okay.
Now, it would be nice to let the leaders fight through, because they're not anymore in a situation where they can come back into the lead. Because if there's a caution right now, that's the end of the race. And here comes Heitzema.
Heitzema's going to look to the inside of Ryan Bowles. He's going to follow the Valvoline machine. That machine is a lap down, remember. Heitzema is going to make the use of the slipstream, thinks better of it. Is he going to tuck back, tries to get the side draft from the Monster Energy number 5. He's going to go right to the inside line, hug that yellow line. It's not going to be enough, though. And he's going to actually lose the drive. And here comes Matthias Strauss on the 22. Heitzema goes defensive to the inside, but we're 3 wide for the lead, Seb. This is going to be fantastic stuff. And with 3 wide for what seems to be 4th place. It's really kicking off here with 2 laps to go. Lovely. Is there contact? Oh my gosh, ever so close between, I believe that was Christensen and Ryan Bowles. This is the top 3 you can see on your screen. We are fighting here for the overall win. This is Ryan Bowles to the outside, and Heitzema, there's contact. Heitzema goes around. Is that going to be a caution?
Yeah, that is a caution. Race over.
Race over.
Yeah, I mean, it was expected, Jack, because they were fighting so hard, and John Christensen takes the win here.
The second week on the bounce where we've been denied what looks to be a grandstand finish, although we got with 1 lap to go here. But I think I said earlier on, Heitzema looks more and more aggressive, and he's really going to be starting to push the boundaries and just getting up into that dirty air.
Yeah, dirty
he goes
air
around.
I mean, that's the Strauss went airborne through there.
Yeah, Strauss with nowhere to go. Unfortunately, he got completely boxed in and manages to keep it.
Got out of that, so he's still in 5th. So
Yeah, what a save there from Matthias Strauss, managing to keep it going the right direction and not flying off to some other location in the US after that bit of contact. Very, very impressive stuff from him. But this is the white flag lap, so this is going to be the last time around, and it's going to be sort of a cool-down lap for a cool-down lap. The heights of the last 5 laps have been some that I've actually really enjoyed commentating on. This has been a surprise banger, I think, with the amount of cars that we've had on the grid today. 20 plus starters for this one, and what a way really to start and kickstart a brand new season 31 of the International IndyCar League, coming round turn 3 number for the 76th time. This time though under caution, and one man that has stayed in the top half of the table and will lead the table going into round 2 is going to be Mr. 44 Nation. John Christensen crosses the line. It's going to be a win, number 1 for season 31. John Christensen takes the win here at Pocono Speedway for the 190-mile race to kick off season 31 of the International IndyCar League. It's going to be a Altena Autosport 1-2. Julien will be happy with that on the board behind the scenes, I'm sure, as F-Tink makes it to second place in the number 18. Ryan Bowles in third, losing the lead with what was, I think, literally the second last racing lap here, as we are now going to get a replay of what actually brought out that caution.
I mean,
and you can see here, Seb.
Yeah, I mean, so we have Jason Lowe. He's watching behind the whole ordeal. And we got Hisma, and again, that's Indy turn 2, so you're getting tight through there, too wide, and just understeered into him, and Christensen being right place, right time, gets the win like that.
Yeah, it's sometimes literally as good as being in the right place at the right time, as you say. Literally taking the lead.
He just made the move. So F-Tink, like losing it like this, that's a brutal way to lose a race.
That's almost as perfect as you can get, isn't it? Making the move and then the caution comes out literally the very next corner. But this is going to be on board with Matthias Strauss, and you can see here, actually didn't get a very good run, did he, the 22? Heitzema then manages to, I think he must have been on the hybrid at this point, fires the car into turn number 2, and I think just carried way too much minimum speed, finds the wall, and bang!
Whoa!
What a save.
I'm going to Indianapolis.
Yeah, quite literally. I mean, Matthias Strauss flying up, that must have been a good 15, 20 meters down the circuit, mustn't it? But that was quite a way to round out the race. Anyway, for round number 1 of season 31 sees John Christensen in his 44 Nation Chevy take the win away from his teammate Roden F-Tink, literally in the dying moments of what we had left of green flag running. Ryan Bowles comes home to complete the top 3 with Jason Lowe in 4th. Matthias Strauss, after taking flight on the back straight, manages to nurse his 28 machine for Team Watson Racing in 5th place. David Strid takes 6th ahead of new VOR recruit Callum Ford. Dan Ench in 8th. Anthony Heitzma, after a rather horrific looking accident in the last dying moments of the race, comes home 9th ahead of Mike West in 10th.
Second part of the standings for today's race at Pocono. Russ Saucier takes 11th place in front of Brian Fiolis. In 12th, Rick Lovison will come home in 13th. Guillermo Miguel finishes 14th in front of Noah Gale. Pim van Gastel finishes in 16th in front of Pascal Fiolis. 18th will be Manuel Gomez Esteban. Brad Stanley will finish in 19th, and Katie Pollack completes the top 20. And I think we still have a third page to go here, Jack.
Yeah, and it is Mike Jensen in the 55, which we saw exit rather earlier on in this race, who rounds out our 21 strong field for the opening round here at Pocono. And I believe we have 2 drivers out of our top 3 in the waiting room at the moment, which, yeah, of course. So we'll bring in Jason Lowe, who is 4th in today's running. Jason, that was quite a finish, and one that we probably didn't want to see finish under caution with the amount of action that was going on there towards the end.
Yeah, it was a great race, great setup, great to have so many cars come out for the season opener. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was one that definitely caught my eye when we saw 21 cars on the entry list. It was a massive hope of excitement for what was to come, and the race definitely delivered. And it's one thing that I think was set us up for a really good season to come. And I think you were right up there at one point, almost challenging for the lead. I know that you're definitely a driver that is always up in the top end of the field, challenging for those wins. But maybe it just didn't go all your way today.
Well, it seemed like just about every incident happened right in front of me. I was lucky to stay out of them. We generally don't have that many cautions in this league, but when you have more cars on the track, of course, there's more action, and that's fine. It's good. I was just kind of biding my time. I don't know if I would have had anything there for John at the end or not, because man, he's really good. But like when the caution comes at the end like that, you just don't know what would have happened. But I'm happy to finish in the top 5.
Yeah, I think after the amount of rough and tumble, I'll call it, that went on in that race, finishing in the top 4 is a massive achievement in itself. Seb, you have something for Jason here this afternoon?
I mean, with like the higher car numbers and more cautions than we're accustomed to in the International IndyCar League, what was your mindset coming through this race?
I mean, Pocono is just one of my favorite tracks. I just really enjoyed driving there and racing there. I wish we had a way to discourage so much fuel mileage, which it's just part of this car, and it's part of oval racing. I'm not a fan of it, but I don't know how to fix it. So we all save fuel and try to make time on pit road. And several of the drivers had problems with the iRacing pit speed limiter today, where they were not at fault. The limiter was actually at fault. So we hope iRacing gets that cleared up quickly.
So that's very interesting. That we did notice quite a few black flags today. So that's interesting to know.
It wasn't necessarily even because I noticed even at Indy for the season finale of season 30, we saw a lot of incidents in pit road regarding speeding, and some drivers looked like they were going way quicker into the pit road but not getting a penalty, and then others that seemed to be taking it more tame were actually picking up penalties. So if that is the case, we do definitely hope that that iRacing can help sort that one. But John, no, sorry,
wow,
John.
failure.
No, John with the win today obviously is a perfect way to start his season in the International IndyCar League. But how do you think you're going to fare when he starts from the back of the field next time out?
Well, just you never know what's going to happen. Every race is a new experience. John's a heck of a driver. We've got a lot of good drivers in this league, a lot of talent. A lot of really good oval guys. I'm not a very good road racer, so some of those guys just absolutely take me to task when we go to the road courses. But happy to start the season near the front. Happy that I didn't get involved in anything. Just glad to be here. 31 seasons in this league. Feels pretty good. Thank you, gentlemen.
And now it's our pleasure. And before we let you go, is there anyone you'd like to thank? Team sponsors, obviously Florida Urgent Rescue are a massive supporter of this series. Anything to do with those guys?
Yeah, I'm looking out into my backyard right now at my 2 beautiful dogs that I got from the Florida Urgent Rescue. 2 beautiful black lab rescues that I love with all my heart. Big fan of both domestic and wildlife. I do what I can to support that. And thanks to my wife, Tiffany. And thanks to you, gentlemen, again. And thanks to Julien.
All right. That was, thank you very much, Jason, for sparing a moment to come and chat to us in the booth. That was Jason Lowe, finishing 4th in the season opener here at Pocono Raceway. A strong result from him, as always. But without any further delay, we'll bring in our race winner for today, which is none other than Mr. John Christensen for Altena Autosport. John Christensen, what a way to start your season here at Pocono with probably the world's most amazing timing of a caution.
Oh yeah, definitely got lucky with that one, but I guess it didn't go my way at Indy, so I'd rather start this season and how last season finished at Indy.
How was your mindset going into this race with, a massive field of 21 cars, a lot bigger than what we saw at the season finale last time out at Indianapolis? Did that sort of adjust how you approached this race? Did you maybe take it a little bit more cautious and play for the aspect of maybe there will be more cautions than normal, or was it just flat out pedal to the metal?
A lot of it was just kind of taking care of it. I was also trying to focus on getting into good position without being too much in danger. But we got a lot of great guys out here that can drive a lot better than I can, and they've drove great races. A lot of drivers drove great races. This race was all over the map. Everyone was just kind of everywhere in the field at one point. It was really fun.
Yeah, that was one thing that I definitely enjoyed to cover as well. The fact that we had so many lead changes and so many different drivers up and down the field making moves and getting involved, and even a couple of the guys that were a bit more unlucky still trying to stick with the lead group and play their part in what was a massive grandstand finish, which we were sort of maybe, I don't know if things would have changed a little bit more on the last lap, but nonetheless, the win is a massive way for you to start your season. But what's the mindset now, considering, of course, you will be receiving the end of line penalty into round number 2?
I guess I'm just gonna have to start by taking that one easy. It was Nashville's not particularly one of my best tracks, so I'm gonna have to try to adjust with it as the race goes on. Hopefully the size of the field carries over. It provided some great racing, a lot of action. Hopefully I can make another run at the championship this season. I do know I'm gonna be missing 2 rounds up ahead, but with drop weeks, if I'm able to stay consistent at the front enough, I might have a shot at it.
Well, I think that getting the win out of the way in the first race of the season gets the monkey off your back in that sense. But Seb, is there anything you have for our race winner today?
So again, as we saw that the race ended under caution, you took the lead at the right moment. But I was wondering, what was your game plan for defending that lead into the final lap had there not be a caution?
I'm gonna keep it real. I have no idea. I was basically just gonna try anything I could. I know Roden was gonna have a good run on me going down into turn 1, so hopefully I was trying to figure out how do I set myself up to go back, try and take it back in turn 2 or 3. So I guess I did get lucky in that regard, but sometimes in racing you need a little bit of luck to have things go right.
Exactly. Well, that will be it for me, Jack. Mr. James? I guess Mr. James is AFK here, John. So, is there anything you have in mind, or is there any shoutouts you want to have towards, I don't know?
I'll first shout out Roden. He drove a better race than I did. I was hoping I would be able to get to the front quicker, so maybe we could work together in the final few laps, but just ran out of time for that. But he drove a great race. 3 VOR cars in the top 10. Caleb Ford also had a great race today. And then obviously got to shout out the sponsors. AOZ.org helps fund research for basically discovering more about Alzheimer's, how it works, and what we can do to make that less of an issue. And then Bookly Do helps create stories for your children, maybe nighttime stories or stuff that you could read in the daycare or just at home. Then I'm gonna also shout out everyone that put this together, the league, the race, the broadcast. It's great. I hope that the size of the series continues to hold up, and we'll go on to Nashville.
All right. Well, Jack, that was John Christensen, our race leader, and another win for him in the International IndyCar League.
Yeah, well, that was the perfect way to start a season, wasn't it? To come out of the blocks and grab the win in the first attempt. I do apologise. I muted my microphone, then asked the question if he did wanted to shout out any sponsors, and then realised that I'd left my microphone on mute. So that is a rookie error from me. I do apologise for that one, leaving you guys a little bit in the dark there. But nonetheless, rounding
Jack,
up.
We're professionals.
Oh, of course. Only the most professional. But rounding up today after what was, I think, one of the most cracking Pocono races I've ever covered, and making it all possible will nonetheless than ATVO Live Timing App Engineering. Quick shout out for those guys for providing all of the intel for us up in the broadcast booth, which is accompanied by TrackCams22 for all the fantastic camera angles that you will see on your screen at the moment. The onboard cams by Julien Altena, and the custom IndyCar TV overlay by Andrew Schultz of SKS Graphics. And then, of course, the man himself on the board behind the scenes, Julien Altena, putting together the very best of productions. But coming up next in 1 week's time, we won't be there, but the next one that we do cover, I believe, is Nashville, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry. Nashville is the next round, which will be in 7 days' time. But then Gateway is when we will join you next on the Velocity Online Racing channel for coverage of that race. But for now, I've been Jack James. Alongside me once again, and as always, is Sébastien Kinder, and then Julien Altena has been on the broadcast doing a fantastic job. And until we join you at Gateway, we wish you the very best of your weekend and a fantastic week ahead. We'll catch up with you very soon. Goodbye.